you've been watching this channel for quite some time, then you know that I'm a huge fan of ESP32 maker projects, and I love IoT devices powered by the ESP32S3, C2, C6, you name it, I just love maker projects. Now, one device that kind of pushed me into the realm of testing out different ESP32 devices as well as development around hardware for it was the Cardputer, not the 1.1 or the ADV, the first Cardputer, which I'm still a huge fan of. Now, the first Cardputer had no GPIO pins, you had an IR transmitter, and the custom firmware at the very beginning was limited to the Nemo firmware, Marauder, and eventually the Bruce firmware. If you're new to this channel, how's it going? I'm your pal Cal, and today I'm going to show you guys a project that I've been working on with a dear friend of mine for almost 7 months now, and it's finally available on GitHub and on my website. If you look at projects like the Flipper Zero, it's not just the device that makes it so amazing, it's the fact that there's a vast variety of boards and developers and community behind that device in particular. Now, a device that I personally love almost as much as I love the Flipper Zero is the Cardputer. And not just the ADV, the Cardputer 1, the 1.1, and of course, soon to be the Cardputer Zero. When the Cardputer ADV first came out, I was just beyond with joy at the fact that they added GPIO support. And since its release, there's been a couple of different GPIO boards that have kind of finally made its way into the mainstream. That way we can expand on the Cardputer's existing ecosystem. And we're going to be going over a board that I've been working on with a dear friend of mine, Don from Don Anon Tech Labs, for almost 7 months now, and I'm pleased to finally announce the card converter. What I love the most about the original Cardputer is that there were so many modifications that you could do to it. Because of the lack of GPIO pins, people got creative. And if you've ever tuned into Ray J's channel, he actually had a guide on how to add GPIO straight to your Cardputer. And that's by physically modifying your device and doing maybe one of the most tedious acts of wiring the thinnest wire into the female headers. That way you could attach 5-volt Flipper Zero boards, or you could use a Hotswap board. Now, there were some other people on Reddit and other forums that were using this red SPI sniffer to then add a proto board and then attach their CC1101 or NRF24. And I was fascinated by this, which is what brought us to bring out one of our first boards, which was our Hotswap board for the red SPI sniffer. But now, since the Cardputer ADV has GPIO pins, I also wanted a Hotswap board, but I wanted to bring Ray J's original modification as well as the Hotswap board that we were using on the red SPI sniffer together into one board. There's a lot of custom firmware for the Cardputer ADV that can turn the Cardputer into a full-fledged pen testing toolkit or an RF analysis tool such as the Bruce firmware, which is what we'll be testing on the card converter today in this video in particular. Now, because of the Bruce firmware's capabilities, this video is for educational purposes only. Remember to only test your own hardware. Don't test networks or devices or transmit on any frequencies that you do not have explicit permission to test on. Follow all local laws. I don't condone any illegal activity, and don't be a skid. When we first started prototyping the card converter, we really hadn't thought of adding standoffs. That way we could 3D print an enclosure and kind of snap fit everything together, but it's something that we're considering, as well as a little LED. But most radio modules that use 5-volt Flipper Zero boards, such as this Pingekwa RF board that was kindly sent in by my friends at Pingekwa, you can place into the headers right here, and it sits flush, and it's the perfect size for you to be able to add an NRF24 over here. And yeah, it kind of sits flush. I was having an issue at first by using both modules together, but it seems like I can use an NRF24 with this board plugged into the 5-volt pins on the side, but not vice versa, which was weird, but I mean, that's fine. Let's turn it on and demonstrate how we can get everything going. The board itself is not plug and play, and I'll show you guys in a second how you can configure the pins, but we're gonna go to NRF24, go to Spectrum, and here we're using an eByte NRF24, but you can also use one of these, which is the generic NRF24s that you can find for like $1. These you can find for as cheap as like $2.50, $3, but you know, at the end of the day, they both work just fine. To edit the pins, you can access the web UI in the Bruce firmware and then go to brucepins.conf, but an easier way is to just take out the SD card and follow what I do on the desktop. Now, I've plugged in my SD card from my Cardputer over here, and if we scroll down to the bottom, this is what I have in my SD card that I can use across different custom firmware like the Evil firmware or the Bruce firmware, but Bruce itself has a brucepins.conf file, so we're going to right-click on that and edit in Notepad. Now let me bring over the notepad over here, and you want to make sure that you scroll down till you see CC1101 pins and NRF24 pins. So over here you'll see SCK, MISO, MOSI, CS, IO0 and IO2, CSK, and the same thing for the NRF24. And you want to match mine with yours. So I have CS13, IO05. This is for CC1101. And NRF24, I have CS6 and IO04. After we've edited, just make sure it's exactly like it is here. We go to File and Save. And that's it. We're literally good to go from here. Editing the 5V Flipper Zero pins might be a tad bit tricky for different types of boards, as I've had a few issues, especially with certain 5V boards that are NRF24 related, but you can use the Hotswap board from the 8 pins on the right side if you're having any issues. Now, I've been dealing with like death threats and harassment and just people being generally foul. So because of all of that, I cannot afford to manufacture these boards the way that I would hoped. So I took a different approach and uploaded them to my GitHub repo, where you can still purchase them from my website, as I only have 30 of them that are assembled at the moment, and that's all I'm probably going to have assembled for a while. But if you'd like to DIY it or have one fabricated yourself, you can find the Gerber, the bill of materials, and everything on my GitHub page, which is linked down below. Keep in mind, just because that we're open sourcing this project doesn't mean that we're not going to be coming out with any more boards in the future, as we're working on a C5 GPS board for the Cardputer ADV and another board for the Cardputer Zero that'll probably sometime be released around October, November, but we'll keep you up to date. But if you want to stay completely updated with our projects and support our work, consider subscribing to our Patreon, as it helps us combat the never-ending, disgusting behavior of others trying to hold the argument, hold the conversation, and for some reason get us to shut up, which is weird and telling of the entitled and despicable behavior of others. And I want to thank you for your love and support, because it is arguably the only thing that has given me hope, because I can't fathom the action of others, and I don't know how to justify other people being just inherently evil. But we keep a daily vlog, and we add your names to the credits if you decide to support us on Patreon, and I'd love your face even more. I want to thank you for watching this video all the way through. I love your face. We'll see you next time.